Yo, guys, what's going on? I'm just gonna go over a little bit today. A new thing I've kind of been seeing is when we have a 15-minute break of structure down or up. I mean, this obviously time is fractal, right? So we can always go to any time frame. Just to make today easy, I'm just gonna look at the 15 and the 5-minute time frames here, mainly the 15. But what we're looking for is 15-minute break of structures down, right? So break of structure up would have been, let's see if I can find my toolbar here. A break of structure up would have been from this low to this new high, right? Low that sends us to a new high above our last high. So this is our break of structure. So what I'm looking for today is what I've been seeing, and I just want to see if there's any merit to it. It's the whole reason for the back test here. Um, but what I'm looking for is when we hit 50%. So, for example, we'll go with this one. So this is basically where I'm going to start. So what I'm looking for is we know 50% is a huge level, right? Let's change this to the right side. Um, no trend line. Let's change this to the right instead of the left. Let's see, levels, value, center to the right. That's not the right setting. Labels be on the right, text be on the right. There we go. All right. So what I'm looking for is when we come back up. So if we come back up here, hit 50, and then come back down and take a low, if price comes back up and takes this high, does that mean and give us a clue that this high is now the draw? Because once 50's hit and we go back lower, this range is done mitigated here. So you would not expect price to come back up above our protected high here. And if it does that mean we're going back to the swing high? So same thing from a bullish standpoint. Um, if we hit 50 and then go down, put a new low in, come back up, take a high. Does it mean we could go back to that last swing high, or does it mean we just continue lower? So let's just get right into it. So I'm not even gonna pay attention to a time because obviously price still respects our 50% and stuff during Asia and London. So we're just gonna do it continuously. Do this for about 20 minutes, half hour, and we'll hop off. I mean, I know it's still early on the West Coast for a lot of you guys, but all right. So let's get right into a 15-minute chart. Nasdaq back in February of 2024. So you see here, this high sends us to a new low below here, right? So for context, this high was our protected high. We should not take this high unless we are bullish again. So we close above. We take some form of liquidity up here. It looks like we might have left equal highs. I think those are equal. Um, but since we close back above, we have a break of structure up. So now our protected low is down here. So if we break this down, we then expect 50% up and down. You see, we didn't get 50% was not respected here. So let's see what happens. Let's run the candles. Um, so you see, so what happens now? So we did not hit 50 and we take a new low. So this is the other part of the back testing. I want to see if this turns into a turtle soup and we come back up to hit 50, or do we just continue lower? Because we know ranges that don't hit 50 can then come back up, hit 50, and then continue lower. So it's something we also have to watch out for. But what happens here, right? We have an unmitigated range up here, but now we have this. We have this high that sends us to this new low. The problem with shorting right here is we know this is a weak high. We know price can run as high at 50 and then go back higher. So taking a short here is a little risky. Um, so we'll see what happens. 50's holding here, 50's holding up into the order blocks, and boom. So right up to OTE, order blocks. Looks like we're going to take a new low here. And we have not broken structure up yet though, until we close above this high. But this is where I'm curious. So right here is where I am interested. So obviously we did not take a new low here off of 50, which is fine. I mean, that's not the part I'm backtesting here. Um, so what I'm backtesting is this. So remember this old range. Do we get a soup off of this high, this weak high that never hit 50? And do we hit 50 and then dump? How often does this happen? Okay, so there's 50. We close above it. We are smashing through this old low here, which is probably a bullish sign, especially with the equal highs. But so now I want to see, do we retrace down after that? Granted, that's not really part of the backtesting. I want to see more or less, do we take the swing high after after hitting 50? So now I'd be interested in, do we go back down, take a new low, and then take this high? So we'll see what happens. But keep in mind, we do have bullish structure now on the 15. So we have bullish structure now on the 15. 50's hit. So this would be, I would consider this as be a swing low here, right? Why do I have -2 up there? That's not what I want. Oh, that's why. That should be a -1 or a 0, I believe. I forget. A 1. There we go. All right, that looks much better. All right. So now we have a breaker structure up. So now if we hit 50 and go back up and take a new high, we should not come down for that low. And if we do we take this swing low? Okay, 50 then hit. So if we go back up and close above, we should not come back down and take this low. And if we do, doesn't mean we take the swing low. Okay, so we did not take a new high off of there, so not good data there. But I am interested. Remember this old range, right? So we come back up, mitigate right into OTE, and now come back down. So now we come back down. We're going to break structure down here, is what it looks like, off of these uh, lows. And so very interesting. So you see, well, to take away so far is what we talk about all the time. Though we can get, if we don't hit 50 of this range, of this big range, we can come back up and mitigate it. You always got to know and pay attention to where your old ranges are. So now we'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. I'm going to go with this. So now we have something else to pay attention. No, this never broke structure, so that's not a good range. So from here to here, let's see how we're taking 50. And now we go back up and take the high after 50. So interesting. I wish this would have taken the low, because that's really what I want to back test is, do we take this low and then go back up, sweep this 50? So basically what I'm looking for is, can I get an entry off of a sweep down here with context, of course, like a higher time frame PD array? I mean, this all goes back to two levels, but this is more or less, can I count if we take this high and it's already hit 50, can I hold my position longer for more points up to this next swing high? And what else is interesting about this high is this, from this high to this low, when it was never hit 50, and look how we come back up for it right here. Look at this range. Here, come back up, hit 50. So something to take away from this range, though, is this range never broke structure down. So not a big, not something too important, but you still see that it works here. So technically, we now break structure to the upside. I just want to see something where we come back down, hit 50, and then go back up. But let's see. Keep going. All right, so we'll keep going here. If we close above here, this range is of interest to me. Okay, so we close above here. So this is a good thing to pay attention to as well. So this may not be, I mean, it could turn into some of the backtesting that I'm doing here, but if we're bullish and we have these equal highs, we have a reason to be bullish. Where are we looking to get into a long? This is where higher time frame comes into play. What do you see? We don't want to be longing up here, right? We're not chasing a break of structure, all the way up here and then getting in, right? We are waiting for our retracement. So we'll see if we get an entry here. We'll try this. All right, let's see. But if we come down, hit 50, take a new high, and then does that mean we come back down and take this low? But let's play it out. So we would want to enter down here. I'd probably be looking to enter on that 683 area if we got it. Why? Because you got all these unmitigated order blocks down here that would like some loving and a 15-minute BISI here. So looks like we may not get it. Might go right for those equal highs, which we do. Okay. So we don't get an entry. Do we care? No. I mean, we were ready to react if price gave it to us, but you stay patient and you don't chase. All right. So now we know we have this old 15-minute range. So this 15-minute range would actually move from here to here. So the last swing high in there, the last wick before we had a down candle. So if you're still bullish, this is where you can still look for a long, right? We could see we come down, we'll hit 50. You can look for a long. This is where I'd be looking for a confirmation long because I don't have a clear draw above. So I would wait for some kind of 15-second setup. So see if we get it, and we don't look. It does not look like we do. So let's see. So obviously price wants to go higher, right? We're closing above all these old highs. We expect higher prices. Obviously price is getting a little high now, but we'll draw this. We'll see if we get a dip here. So we're looking, if we're bullish still, and we see another target above, what are we looking for? We have a 15-minute BISI here, 15-minute order block. Remember, we do this on the 1 minute all the way down to the 15-second, just for the sake here. We are doing it for just on the 15. So we'd be looking to get into a position potentially down here around OTE, right? OTE lines up. Look how OTE lines up perfectly with that order block as well. So, but we can still look for the back testing here. Can we hit 50? Okay, we hit 50 here. Now do we go up to take a new high? We didn't really get, probably when it got tagged in here. I would have waited for OTE and that order block to get tapped. Let's see if we take a high. What time is it? Oh, this is Asia. Okay, this is the middle of Asia in London, so price might get a little slow here. Holy Wednesday. I wonder if there's news the next day. This is okay. So London's starting here. We should get some kind of movement. And still nothing. Okay, we're in the middle of New York here. Does this turn into a manipulation like down? Okay, so there's 50 again. We're basically at close. All right, so we take a new high. So now we take a new high. So now if we come down, take this low, does that mean we go back down here? This is what I'm back testing now. So now 50 of this range has already been hit. Do we come back down? If we take that low, do we do it? Make it pretty sloppy here. All right, so we close above. We're obviously wanting higher prices here. So what are we looking for? I see a doji here. We know dojis can be targets, right? So I see a doji with a 15-minute BISI below it sitting in a nice little discount. So I'd be looking for something like this to potentially get into a long. All right, so we expect this doji. We don't like longing with dojis, right? We know dojis can come down and get swept. They're not strong candles. Let's see if we can take it. So we hit OTE, hit the doji. We don't sweep the doji, so that's interesting. And we go back up, and looks like we're gonna take a new high potentially. There's a new high. Okay. So now what I want to see is price come back down, take this low, and then see if we go to the thing. So we might have to go to the 5-minute chart here to really see if this works. So okay, so this is a good test right here. We take this low, right? We take this low. Say we're entered up here somewhere. Say we have higher time frame context to the left over here, hourly SIBI that's untapped, and we expect maybe like an hourly 50% down or something. If we are in up here, can we hold our trade for this swing low? That's what I'm looking for. It looks like we get stopped. You would get probably stopped out there, break even, or if you're trailing your stop to protected lows, you would have got stopped out there. So it didn't work there. So that's worth noting. Where's our protected low? Our protected high, our protected low is here, which we do not close below. So that's another key thing about market structure is always pay attention to your protected lows and do we close below them? Look how we did not close below here because this was the last low that sent us up to a new high, to a new candle close above a high. This low is not protected because this did not send us to this high, right? So the last low was this low right here. Sends us up to a new high. Look how we did not break structure down here. And we end up putting in a brand new structure up. This was February, which I remember, if I remember right, February was a bullish month. So now we get a down candle. So now I'm looking for this. Looking for 50 lines right at that order block. You could look for a long here. Best is the BISI, below an OTE. But I would definitely be thinking of a long here, potentially, assuming we have an obvious draw above and we just didn't hit it. But for the sake of back testing, I'm not going to sit here and look at the, keep track of the hourly for every little thing we do. We'll be here all day. So just watching 15-minute here. So we take a new high. We did this not hit 50. So this is a protected low. So now what can we do with protected lows is we can aim for those once we get a short. So once you start getting a short, you can start holding for these because we know price should come back and hit 50 at this range at some point. So at some point, keyword. Doesn't have to be this day, but you always, like whenever you see ranges like this and you see just this, just know 50 is a target below, and the lows that did not hit 50 are weak because they're lows inside of a premium. So we'll see if we close below this low. If we do, we get bearish, okay? Okay, so we get technically get bearish here, but just a good example here. We have this to here. So we broke structure, right? I mean, you have this low here. Actually, it would be, sorry, I drew this a little wrong. So your last, this would have been your 15-minute range, right? That never hit 50. We just kept going. We had this little dip in, boom, new high. And then we closed back below this low. Closed back below this low. We have now broken structure down. What are we looking at? We're looking at, boom, 50% of this range got tapped. Top of this wick or order block. If you're still bullish, you can still look for a long in here. Granted, if you're short here, this is where you're looking for trims. You're targeting this 1811. But oh, what up, guys? Just noticed you guys just were in here. So yeah, just looking. So here's OTE. We'll see what happens here. So you can potentially frame, an entry if there's something down on the 15-second. What time is this? Oh, this is London, or this is Asia. So hard telling what happens here. Go down to the 15-second. We'll see if there's any kind of entry. all I really see would be from here to here, we hit 50. Order blocks mitigated back up to the highs. Man, 15-second in Asia is not pretty. Yeah, we'll stick to the 15-minute here. So 15. So what I'm going to see now is if we come back up, take this high, come back down and take this low. Once we take this low, is it a given that we should go down and take this low here? Oh, I wonder why the charts are over. This is on the 10-minute. There we go. Or is it just going to be 50 and boom, back up to the high? And now we get into the middle of London. Not doing anything. All right, so there's the high. So now if we come down, I want to see this. I want to see this low swept. If we don't, well, then we're just still bullish as hell. Looks like we're bullish as hell. Okay, so we still not sweep this low. Kind of messy. This is New York too. Oh, someone lost some accounts that day. All right, there's 3 o'clock. All right, so we have a new 15-minute range. Just gonna watch this till we get a red candle down. There's your red candle. That's not what I wanted. So now we have this range sitting here. So since we're breaking structure up, we know we're bullish. We can look for longs out of this OTE area down here, 1839. What else do you see? Bottom of a BISI. Order blocks need mitigated. Longs in here are not an awful idea. But we end up breaking structure higher, higher, higher. Back down to the 15 BISI. This gives, if we blow this 15-minute BISI, there's nothing else holding price until we go hit 50, is what I would be looking for here. So it looks like it's going to hold. Maybe not. Okay, so we should hit 50 here. Yeah. Okay, well, we hit 50 and we go back and take that low. Let's see. All right, so now we're breaking structure down, which is interesting. So now we can look back and see. So now we swept this low. Does this mean we go back down and take that original swing down here? Like if you're short, you know you have a weak low here, and your swing low, and then you know you have a weak low here that never hit 50. Okay, and then we know we have a 15-minute range that never got tapped down here, which is where you would probably expect price to draw to. We'll see if it does. So the final target would be down here, only if we close through this low. But let's see here. Or we couldn't get it. So the breaking structures here. You'd expect OTE this range to now hold. So you could then look for a short up here, targeting 50% down here. We never get an entry there. So there's no entry up. We end up breaking structure down again. But let's see if now that we took this low, do we push for this 15-minute doji down here, unmitigated order blocks, which you see we just hit right here, right? We bounced right off 50. 50, those order blocks, does price hold? Okay, so we're pushing even lower here. Last 15-minute in the leg right here. Price is going to bounce. It's going to be right here in all these old order blocks if we're truly bullish. Still breaking down, so you have 15-minute order block, OTE sitting up here as well on the bearish side. Have to be aware of. And choppy. Okay. Okay, so you see we're bouncing out of there. Let's go to the hourly and see what the hourly chart looks like. Hourly's probably got a nice range here, nice 50%, yeah. So you got pretty much an hourly breaker sitting up here as well. Our last area held. So it's just, remember, old ranges that don't hit 50. you can get longs off of those. Those longs may not send us back for a full on reversal, but you can then look for longs to some kind of 50%. So let's see if we get a 50 here. That would be our, we'd be targeting up here, and then we'd be targeting, probably this hourly civvy just above 50. But let's see if it, oh no, let's get off the hourly time frame. All right, let's see here. You're good to hold as long as this low is holding. So came down, mitigation, order block. So these lows that mitigate, if they send you to a new high, we should not come back and take these lows. These lows, you should not take mitigation candles. So the candles that come down, hit mitigation and mitigate the order block, I should say, should not be broken unless we're bearish. You see a lot of LR here. So let's see. See what happens. So as soon as we take those lows, so we take a new high, the moment we break these, you're then targeting brand new lows. Because those lows should hold. So we don't even get 50 up there. So what happens here is we end up, so this was our 15, I don't even know what low what high I would go off of here. Kind of all ugly. But this would have been your 15-minute range, OTE, pretty much CE of this order block. And then a brand new low. So I'm curious to see if we come back up now and take this high. Should mean we go back up and take this high. But we'll see if we can even get up there. Like, the fact we came back down now should mean obviously this low, and then we have order blocks down here. So it comes down, hits these order blocks down here, something like that. Did we actually hit? Yeah, so we hit the top of them. But so if those don't hold, where do we look? Looking at pretty much next area. Obviously this ITL as well. But this is where we're not shorting, right? We know we can get 50%. We're due for some kind of retracement. Might have been like a 5-minute there on that candle. So let's go to the hourly and see what that's looking like. So blew through these. Really would not expect price to hold in here. I would say we're bearish till here. Why? It's your next order block that's not mitigated. Maybe there's a 15-minute down there too. Yeah, so you got, we'll see. Interesting. All the 15s are mitigated, so I would not see us bouncing there. So there's your hourly order block. It's your last chance. Otherwise, I see this. I guess I would go from this low to here. So if these order blocks are not holding, 50% of this range, we can then start looking for longs out of, this old range. It's more or less turned into OTE class rather than, or 50% range class instead of a back testing, but it's all right. So let's see here. If we take out this low, I would expect 50%. Let's get off the hourly chart now. Actually, let's just go to the hourly. Be easier. Sheesh. All right, so you see, we well took 50. Now these order blocks, potentially, you get a long. This is bearish as hell. Let's see, like, unmitigated ranges below, we come back for them. Interesting spot to bounce there. Wonder if there's something like on a 5-minute. Okay, let's clean all this up and start with some newer structure. Okay, I just want to run a candle through here. So what I'm watching now is this hourly range. Okay, so OTE, we should push lower. So now what do we see? See how these lows, I see this old hourly range here that just missed 50. So my guess would be if I was in short or options, I'd be looking for obviously this ITL, but 50% right beneath it at 17 at 455. Just because we're still reacting off 50 here, off OTE, it should tell us, we're still breaking structure down here on the hourly. Let's see what happens. So we sweep those lows. And if this does come back here, we'll be able to test what I want the back test. And if we take this high, it should mean we take out this high as well. That's not what I wanted. So we're going to watch two things here. Also got to watch this as well. So from here to here was a break of structure. So we're an hourly OTE here, or order block with an hourly BPR sitting there. So if you're looking for shorts, that's the spot you would want to attempt to get into a short. It looks like you would get stopped out. Should push up for this high now. I don't see why we would reject now. So there's that high. So this is where we can bring out the back test. Just also keeping in the back of your mind that we had this hourly down here. We got close to it and didn't take it. So let's see. I would like to see this high taken though, because I want to see this work. So this was the 50% high. Obviously we hit OT, but this range was mitigated. So if we're taking this high, I don't see why we would reverse again. But this is what I want to see, because I don't want to start holding positions and it not be valuable. So what I see right now is this. This was the protected high. We closed above it, barely. Barely, barely. We'll see if 50 holds here. Came back down, these unmitigated order blocks. And then we go to the high. Okay. So it's interesting because the whole basis of this is if 50 OTE whatever is already mitigated, why are we coming back up if it doesn't mean we're not going to take a swing high? That's the whole basis of this. So that's what I'm looking for here. Sorry if you guys are saying anything in chat. Okay, you're not. Okay, but yeah, I'll keep pushing here. So for bullish here, I mean at this point, we break above that high, close above. So our new hourly range will just go from here to here. Keeping in mind that if we break this low, we'd probably push for that 50 below. But I would say right now we're pushing for this this fair value gap with these order blocks unmitigated up here as well. Also, we have an hourly range that never hit 50 up here. We gotta watch out for. So, so what I'm watching now is blow through this hourly. No rejection here. Tells me we're going up to this hourly SIBI. Probably this hourly BPR. So let's see how. If we're bullish, we can look for a long down here out of here. What time is this? So this is Asia. So see what we get. Okay, so we now have weak lows sitting here. Weak lows because they did not hit 50. So if we get a short out of this hourly SIBI, you can look for these lows as your first target. Obviously, this is the hourly time frame, so you'd be trimming a lot before that. But um, so far, a little short off of there. We take a new high, and we reject. So I would look for price to come down, probably OTE, tap into these order blocks. I would not. I would expect 50 to be tapped. And there's your 50. If we push back up, so this is the other thing. So this is like a big hourly range here. If we take this high again, I don't see why we would reverse back down off of that. It tells me price wants higher prices. So you see we're close now. We close above it. So a good thing to note here. Hourly, your last fair value gaps in the legs, whether it's 5, 15, hourly, can drive those 50% retracements. Gives you a false break of structure here, but look what happens. We come back down this old hourly range, 50%, boom, off and off we go. These are great spots. Whenever like you're like I don't know where price is going. I don't know what load to target. Look for old 50% ranges that were not tapped. It's a great spot to look for reversals. But so at this point, like taking this high, I would be looking for price to push up to that 50 and that hourly, probably that hourly BPR up here. Let's see if it does. So break above, there's 50. 50 is now mitigated, and there's the BPR, I think. So basically, equal highs with it. Should hit that BPR, unless I don't know if we hit it. Let's see if we hit it. If you guys have any questions, throw them in chat. Let me know. But all right, looks like equal highs. So if we left those equal highs, obviously you don't be. It's tough to be long enough here, but it does look like an hourly buy model to me. Let's see. So then you'd be looking. Ooh, I do not like those hourly devils more equal lows down there, but just for the sake of this is where we're looking. So we know we hit 50. We know we still have this down here. We'll get rid of this zone, kind of clear the charts up. But look at this, come back for 50. Oh, we didn't get close to that BPR. That's the hourly civvy. The BPR is a little bit higher. So we take that low, take those lows. Interesting. Okay. And then we just end up dumping through them. So came back up right 450. I don't know if we actually, let's see if we hit that civvy or not. Or did we leave equal highs? 25.75, 25.25. So we did tap into the hourly civvy, the highest hourly civvy above 50. So now we're just breaking down, and I literally did. Oh, I did not delete that last range. Okay. So now we are totally breaking structure down, almost to the point you don't even want to short. But look how price comes back up, old 50s. Breaks down here, so you could actually be looking for a short. If we do this. So we'll see what price gives us. Probably breaks. I would say it probably puts in a lower low here yet. So now we can look for shorts up here above 50. Probably these old lows right here. Old lows inside those hourly, maybe up to the hourly civvy. You can look for a short. And where are you targeting? I don't see any real hourly ranges. You see this. This would be an old. Those are weak. Those are weak lows, so those could be a target. But remember, these are also, there's so much to see here. This would be your range, but remember this low already mitigated these order blocks, so you would not want to see this low swept. If this low gets swept, you obviously would target 50 at this range from this high to this low, but would see if we push down and get in, grab this 50 down here. So there's 50% back up. Do we push up a little more into OT? We don't even get that. So you should expect a new low. So this is something else to watch. New low, if we come back up and take this high, I would fully expect us to go all the way back up to these relative equal highs. So let's see what happens. We take the low. Okay, we're gonna chop. So this was New York. Of course it was nice and choppy. Okay, so there goes that low. So now I want to see price. Our next target would be 50% of this range. So it's a little sloppy, but 623.75. So basically CE of this here. Let's see if price does or if it just pumps back up. Okay, so there's 50% back up, basically an OTE of this little range. Push down again, and there would be, and right there would be your 50 of this range. So if you don't get a bounce, which you do have an old hourly order block here, which you gotta be careful because maybe on like a 5-minute or a 15-minute time frame, this is probably some kind of nasty 15-minute range down. You could get a bounce. These last order blocks and bissies. But let's see. take this low, it means we're going to 50 down here. So you see what happens. That order block gives us a 50% retrace. This is probably like a 15-minute range. Looks like we did not take that protected high. Your protected high would be here, because, or did we? It's tough. I don't know. We missed it by a little bit. So this is your protected high right here, because that's the low that sent us to a brand new low. And then we go down and we take that low. So now let's see if we push down to that 50%. Push down to that 50. Okay, there's 50. So now this is where we could go to the lower time frame and see if we get a move down. If we do not get a retracement here, what do we expect? Let's see. These order blocks are already mitigated, so I mean, I would fully expect the low. I don't see another reason unless there's a 5-minute or 15-minute down there. But there's your there's your there's your 50%. Look at that, right off of it. So from 455 to, I mean, you get 160 points there. Not that you would hold for all that, but you could have found a long in there, you know, somewhere if you go down to the 15-second, the 1 minute, as well. So that's what I want to see. This shows you your old ranges and how important they are when we don't mitigate them on the way up or the way down. Oops. So we'll do a few more here. So now this whole range is mitigated, right? Boom, 50 finally hit. So now let's just kind of reset here. So I'm watching. So this is actually, let's see. Okay, this is actually what I wanted to back test. So 50 hits. It's a tough range because there's no like swing low. Okay. Anyway, let's see. 50 hits here. Does that mean we go all the way back up to this swing high now? Does not. It's also a very weird range. So I don't know if I'll count that as a back, just because like this is the hourly range. Actually, I would say probably I would cut this probably as a fail. No, I wouldn't, because so this would be your range, because you have down candle and then your up candle would create your range. Look how we missed 50, take the low, then hit 50, sends us back to the low. So if we came back up and took these highs, I would definitely expect this high. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes it easy. So what held price here? What did we come down for? So we just came down to remitigate, basically right off this old order block here that never got tapped. That's all it is, guys. All mitigation of areas that we leave behind. Price comes back to rebalance it. There's orders probably sitting here at this order block, hence why it's called an order block, right off of it. So at this point, I would say we're bullish as hell, but I'm not looking to long, you know, until we get this. So if this is like the 1 minute, I'm waiting for price to retrace into here. So I'm looking for longs where order blocks in OTE here. I want these order blocks. I want to buy in a discount. I don't want to be buying up here chasing price. And let's see. So we're just leaving a bunch of weak lows here. So we'll probably come back at some point for this range. At this point, we're just ripping. But now I'd be long probably now. But let's watch this. See if we get a 50 here. If this low goes, you expect 50% of this from here to hit then. Let's see if we even hit 50. Okay, let's see. So we take a high, we hit 50. Do we go back up and put in a new high? OTE, order blocks, holding price. Let's see. It's kind of sloppy in here. Where's our break of structure? This would still be our break of structure down. Nothing bearish here on the hourly, just hourly OTE holding a bunch of chop. Holy cow. This is what you like to call retailsville. So if this is the 1 minute chart, just look how we're going OTE to OTE range up to down. You do not want to be trading in the middle of this. This is where retail gets chopped the hell up. Yeah, this is the hourly. There's probably some good ranges in here on the 1 minute, but when you see this on like the 1 minute chart, this is where you get chopped up. This is where accounts get absolutely wrecked. So at this point, I would imagine we take a new low. So we break structure down there on the hourly. So I'd be looking at that's not even a good swing. Probably be looking at this to here would be the range. So 50 down here at 828. Right off 828. Look at that shit. Absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. It happens every day on every time frame, but that's pretty crazy. So at this point, obviously we're breaking back up. We know we got to be careful still. But here's your 50. We know we still have this unmitigated down here, but at this point, obviously we're breaking structure back up here. Let's see if we get a red candle. Okay, so there's our red candle, which makes this our swing. So this is our hourly swing. One along, even probably one. I would not be comfortable along, but you almost got like 3 drives here on the lows, which probably means we just continue pumping here, which means I would probably be content looking for a long down inside of here if we got it. So there it is. Probably somewhere in there. What time was that? 1400. So that was like a close. This overnight push us back up. There it is. See why you want to be buying down here, not up here chasing price. But all right, well, all right, guys, I'm going to hop off. Thank you guys for joining. Looks like a couple of you guys showed up. But I do have this recorded, so if you showed up late, I will get this uploaded now. But absolutely, hope you guys learned something. Like I said, the more you look at these, the more and better you will get. So that's all right, Cash. I got it recorded. I will literally save it and upload it right now, and you can watch it in like a half hour because the internet's slow here, so it might take a hot minute to upload. But all right, later, guys. Have a good day.